Sometimes people remember you not as a good person, but as someone they can call when they need you. And those small requests, at some point, end up determining your place. You definitely did your best. You handled what others avoided. Moved first whenever someone asked. And even took on troublesome tasks with a smile. At first, everyone said they were grateful. They said, as expected, that there was no one like you. That they were lucky to have you. And that the work got done thanks to you. But as time passed, something strange happened. Gratitude became shorter and shorter, and the requests became more and more natural. At first, people who felt sorry for it would speak with an apologetic look at some point. They began to say it with a matter-of-fact expression. You could just do this for me. You're really good at things like this. Isn't this originally something you were supposed to handle? The moment you hear those words, you realize it. I became not someone precious to people, but a convenient feature, and what's even more painful comes next. But once something truly important comes up, you won't be called. There is no place for your name, even in a moment to share achievements. Hard work comes to you, but good opportunities go to someone else. I've heard thank you a lot, but I don't really have a place of my own. Long ago, a sage who looked more coldly at the strength and needs beneath the surface of human relationships left an extremely cold insight about how people endure. People like kindness. But what holds people in place is not kindness, it's need. These words are cold, but it is the truth about the relationship we must face today. If you keep staying only with people who you're grateful for, one day, people won't see you as a person, they'll see you as a function. The person who buys the coffee well, the one who handles the payments well, the one who steps in and takes care of things when things get urgent. People like that are comfortable to have around, but someone who's easy to rely on is also easy to replace. If someone comes along who does it even better, things change. And if someone with more time comes along, they get ahead. The moment I say I'm struggling, I'm the one who breaks the mood. This isn't a problem that happens simply because someone is kind. It's a problem that arises when there's no clear standard for what kindness means, when you don't have any Jiyoon. Kindness is definitely a good thing. But when repeated kindness turns into a role, and that role hardens into something like an obligation, and when that obligation starts eating away at my life, then from that moment on, kindness is no longer kindness, it becomes self-exhaustion. And many kind people blame themselves at this point. Am I just too sensitive? Have I become calculating? Are you saying that helping is that precious to you? But no. The problem isn't your kindness. The problem is that there wasn't a structure in place to protect that kindness. Good people often believe that if they do just a little more, the relationship will improve. If I just hold on a little longer, they'll understand eventually, too. If I just move a little more, people will understand my feelings, too. But relationships can't be resolved with feelings alone. In relationships, invisible roles emerge. People quietly remember each other's place without having to define it in words. Whether someone is the one who moves first, whether someone can't refuse, whether someone takes care of uncomfortable tasks, or whether someone doesn't have to be the one who makes sure everything is handled. And once a position has hardened, it doesn't change as easily as you might think. So today's story isn't just about how a good person gets the short end of the deal. It's about how my place is decided among people. There is one person in the company. We'll call him Junho. Junho is known as a diligent person on the team. He is rarely late, meets deadlines well, and he doesn't show an annoyed look, even when someone asks him to do something. The team leader thinks of Junho like it's no big deal. Please reserve a meeting room. Find the form from last time and share it. After the event is over, also collect the photo files. It started out as something small at first. It was something that someone had to do. And it was just a matter of moving for a moment. Junho thought so at first, too. The team is busy. So I can help a little. But that little bit starts becoming the default value for the day. When I go to work in the morning, I check other people's requests before anything else related to my own tasks. There's always an ambiguous sentence sitting in the messenger window. Junho, could this be possible as well? Junho, I'm sorry, but could you do just this for me? People say they're sorry, but their faces don't look that apologetic, because they already know. In the end, Junho does it. He prints the meeting materials, compiles the attendee list, corrects the missing numbers, and even takes care of schedules the team manager missed. If he doesn't move, the team's small flaws start to show. But for some strange reason, the person who blocked that gap doesn't seem to be noticeable. One day, a new project begins. The team lead calls in the core staff, the person in charge of planning, the person responsible for external presentations, the person handling data analysis, and the person who will go to the client. Meeting Junho naturally assumed he would be going too, because no one knew better than I did how this team had been running. In fact, he was the one who handled the actual materials the most, took care of the schedule the most, and was also the best at knowing where people often got stuck, and in which parts. But the moment the meeting room door closed, Junho stayed in the hallway. The team lead says as he passes by, Junho, this time again, could you take care of the support side a bit? Meeting minutes and organizing the materials. And since Junho is the best at coordinating the schedule, it's phrased in a way that sounds like praise. But at that moment, one side of Junho's chest quietly sinks. Because the words "you're good" didn't come as an opportunity but as a return to a fixed role. That afternoon, the direction of the project is decided inside the meeting room. Outside the meeting room, Junho checks who has been drinking coffee, prints the revised materials, and clears the remaining cups. After the meeting ends, beyond the glass door, you can see colleagues watching the screen and nodding in agreement. Inside it, there is a decision inside it. There is a name inside it. There is the next evaluation. And Junho is outside of it. At that time, Junho thinks for the first time, am I the kind of person this team needs? Or am I just a convenient person? A few days from now, the team manager says it in the all-hands meeting. For this project, Min's assistant manager did a great job laying out the plan. And Director CEO handled external communication well. And Junho supported us well from behind. He supported us well from behind.
잘해줬습니다.
That isn't the wrong thing to say. So it hurts even more. What Junho did was definitely necessary. But that need didn't lead to Junho's place. He was helpful to the team. But he couldn't get into the center of it. This is the tragedy that kind people in the company often face. They do a lot of work, but their role is kept low. They hear words of gratitude, but they don't get any decision-making authority. People look for him, but they don't call him when it really matters. Why is that? It's not because Junho is lacking. It's because Junho has tied his own worth to convenience. People remembered him not as an expert who solved problems, but as someone who took care of annoying tasks instead. The value he created didn't remain in the language of results, it only remained in the language of favors. There was kindness, but there was no position. You did your part, but there was no name. And unnamed efforts disappear within the organization far too easily. Similar work is repeated outside the company as well. There's always someone who ends up being the treasurer. At friend gatherings, too. We'll call her Jiyoon. Jiyoon is used to taking care of people. Even when she set up the first meeting, she just naturally looked for a place. I thought about who lives where, picked a midway point, found a restaurant with parking available, and checked the times. When we could make a reservation. My friend said, Jiyoon, thank you, you're just as thorough as always. If it weren't for you, we couldn't have met. I didn't dislike what they said. I felt like I was needed by someone, and that I had a role to play within the relationship. But at some point, that role stops being a choice, and becomes an obligation. Once the meeting date is set, nobody moves first. In the group chat, only this kind of message gets posted. This time too, we can just have Jiyoon book it. Can I have Jiyoon collect the dues? So you can go bring the car? Since you don't drink much. You can drive, right? At first, gratitude followed. Later, all that was left were requests. Even later, if Jiyoon replies late, the group chat goes quiet. I wanted to take a real break one weekend. As if the reason the meeting doesn't go on were Delane's fault. I worked late every day all week, had household chores piling up, and my body felt heavy. So I leave this cautiously in the group chat. This time, it would be better if we split the roles and worked on them, rather than me handling everything. It would be good if someone else made the restaurant reservation, and another person handled the payment. After sending the message, I keep staring at my phone screen for delays. The number of views goes down, but the answer doesn't rise for a long time. And then someone writes something briefly. Then should I just watch the next one? Another friend says. Why do we have to break it down that much? If we just do what we normally do, it's easier. Yet the moment you see that sentence, your stomach turns cold, as you normally would. There's no time for Jiyoon in that sentence. There's no fatigue from Jiyoon either. There's only the familiar calculation that, if you keep using the same people to make the gathering run smoothly, that's all it takes. That day, I realized the delay. I wanted to become someone my friends could cherish. But at some point I turned into the mechanism that keeps the gathering going. This isn't only happening because my friends are bad people. People are beings that get used to things. Even things you felt sorry for at first become comfortable once you repeat them. Even help you were initially grateful for becomes something you start to look forward to when you keep receiving it. At first, it's something you ask for, but if it keeps going, it becomes a role. And when you stop that kindness once it has become a role, the other person feels discomfort before gratitude. Because from that person's point of view, it doesn't feel like you're not helping. It feels as if the original system that was running has stopped. At this very point, that old wisdom, hinted at in the beginning, will be needed again. The name of that wise person is Balthasar Gracián. Gracián did not view human relationships as just a matter of emotion. He saw the structure of the needs, values, distance, and roles that flow between people. If you translate his wisdom into today's language, you could say it like this: kindness creates gratitude, but necessity makes room. Gratitude is warm, but it may not last long. Need is cold, but it doesn't disappear easily. Someone who is grateful to others can remain as a good memory, but someone who is needed by another finds a place within that person's structure. If you don't have it, things fall off balance. If you don't have it, the standards collapse. If you don't have it, relationships don't run around recklessly. People like that aren't easily consumed. That doesn't mean you should live calculatively. It doesn't mean you should cut off your help either. It doesn't mean you should give up kindness, absolutely not. It means that you must make sure whether my goodwill is being accumulated as my value when it keeps repeating, or whether it's only being used up for someone else's convenience. Remember the substitute sentence for today here. This time, it would be better if we divided the roles, rather than I taking everything on myself. This sentence is not an attack. It's not a complaint either. This is the quietest standard for ensuring I don't disappear. From now on, change these 3 things. First, redefine repeated favors as roles. Helping once is kindness. Helping twice is consideration. But if the same request is repeated 3 or more times, it means it has already become a role within the relationship. Back then, you shouldn't just feel upset inside. You need to change the situation by speaking up. This keeps happening over and over. So it would be better to divide the responsibilities going forward. I'll handle it up to this time. From now on, it would be best to assign numbers in order. This is what you should say. Please separate what I will take responsibility for, and what I will not take responsibility for. Good people have a habit of taking on everything when they're asked. But those who need help know their limits. The full process is difficult, but we can review the draft. You can have me handle the booking, but please have someone else take care of the settlement. I'll help with organizing the materials. However, it's difficult for me to take care of everything up to preparing the presentation. If we draw the line like this, the other person may feel awkward at first, but that awkwardness has to pass before the relationship can find balance again. Third, tie your value to professionalism, not convenience. If people come to me because I'm kind, and they have too much time, and I can't refuse, then that's dangerous. That's because it can be depleted at any time. Now you have to make people remember you this way. That person has standards. That person does the work precisely. That person looks at the whole structure. That person doesn't take on just any task, but once something is assigned, they carry it out reliably. This is the difference between a convenient person and a needed one, between those who are easy to call and those who are essential. A convenient person is called when the other side needs them. A needed person takes their place at the center of the work. Convenient people can do a lot for you and still end up forgotten. Necessary people remain as a standard, even if they say little. If you refuse convenient people, they become the ones who ruin the mood. The people who need to act can't just push others around carelessly, even if they draw a line. You haven't lived your life wrongly up to now. The kindness you gave wasn't fake. The desire to help someone and the desire to protect the relationship are both part of your good qualities. Because you had that, ma'am, people felt at ease for a while. Things worked out, and the gatherings continued. But having good intentions doesn't always lead to good results. A good intention without a standard can end up trapped inside someone else's convenience. There is a reason you acted that way. You probably didn't want to create conflict. He probably didn't want to be disliked. He probably believed that if I tried a little more, the atmosphere would improve. That approach may once have been a way to maintain the relationship. But if that approach is erasing you now, you need to change it. It doesn't mean you should become colder. It means you should become more clear, more precise. It doesn't mean help less. It means to help in a way that doesn't lose me. Even people I'm grateful for are cherished. But if you stay only with the people who are grateful, people may remember you, but they won't keep your place for you. Now, you should do favors, but make sure that the favor doesn't erase my worth. Help, but make sure my life isn't arranged to accommodate someone else's convenience. You should maintain the relationship, but you must not leave your own place empty on your own. Today's sentence to carve into your subconscious is this: I don't stay with someone who's grateful, I become someone who's needed. Don't just hear this sentence as a nice thing and let it pass. This sentence is a guideline that will make you pause briefly before every request you face going forward. When someone makes another overly smooth request, remember this sentence: am I giving now, or am I being consumed? Am I helping with relationships right now, or am I stepping aside? Do I remain the person you need right now, or do I become someone convenient? Leave this sentence in the comments. I won't stay in a place of being grateful, I will become the person you need. This is a small agreement that says you won't erase yourself with just one word of thank you anymore. In the past, we learned how to move not someday, but today. Now, that execution is also needed in relationships. Starting today, you shouldn't automatically move when you're asked. First, confirm my role and my place. In the next chapter, we'll get into issues that come with a closer relationship. Even if you become someone necessary, respect can collapse the moment you get too close. In the next chapter, we'll explore why intimacy can suddenly become the doorway to rudeness. The next page of the book, called Your Life, will surely shine more elegantly and powerfully. Mind Library here.